Hey y'all, welcome back to part two of Dr. Catfish jumped into my frying pan. And he sure did. For those of y'all who had missed part one, you might want to go ahead and watch that because I don't have time to do a recap of the whole show. Um, but just very quickly, I have a doctor from Turkey who came to the US who is working for the UN who uh, who's now working in Syria, war torn Syria. It, it, yeah, um, and and I've talked to him on the phone, and I've told him though that if I don't get a FaceTime call, that's going to be the end because I still have not seen him to match him with the face on the picture, you know. So I don't know if it's really him or not. Um, but again, hey y'all, my name is Lisa, otherwise known as Nana Punkydoo. I am a Nana to my Punkydoo. She's almost, well, she's 17, but she's still my Punkydoo. I don't care. And yes, I do have notes, so this is a long story, y'all. So d- you're going to have to bear with me while I follow notes. Um, so where I left off, where he had decided, I told him, forget it. I'm done unless you FaceTime me because I need to see you. And just, I need to talk to the face that's on the picture, you know? And I waited for a few days. It was a few days. And he finally texted me and he says, "Okay, I'm ready." I said, "You're ready for what?" He said, "I'm ready for the FaceTime call." Really? You had to plan this, did you? So I said, "Okay." And so he calls me and I answered the phone, and I'll be damned if I wasn't looking at the doctor, at the doctor from the picture. And I was totally blown away. I was astonished, y'all. I mean, I was astonished. I could not believe it. I was just kind of really freaking out for a minute. I could not believe that I was talking to the doctor, the doctor that, you know, the real doctor. And I was thinking, wow, this is real, you know? And then the deep fake started to slip a little bit because what he was saying did not match up with his lips moving. I mean, he was. It was like watching a dubbed movie. You're watching a Chinese movie that they're speaking in Chinese, but it's coming across to you in English. And I'm like, what the hell is going on here? But and he's walking around outside in what looked like I don't know if it was a field or a parking lot or what, and he's supposedly on an army base. And I didn't see anything that looked like an army base. I had no, I don't know. And he walked over towards this building. It was, a building, and he introduced me to what he said was a friend of his, and the guy just lifted up his head and nodded. He was working on something. I don't know what the hell he was doing. And he walked away and he says, I don't trust that guy. I don't trust that guy at all. But the whole time he's like kind of holding the phone out to his side. So it's almost like I'm looking at him from the side, not from the front half the time. And I'm like, what the hell is going on? And I didn't get a lot of chance to talk. He was doing most of the talking, but I wasn't seeing a lot of him. I was seeing a lot of the side of him. And but at one point I was saying something to him, and all of a sudden he interrupts me, says something really quick, and then laughs. And the laugh was perfectly timed with the guy in the pic in the, on the phone laughing. That was the only thing that matched up. The words didn't match. I don't know what the dude on the phone was saying, but what I was hearing didn't match with the mouth moving, except for when he laughed. When I heard the laugh, I saw the laugh. That meshed. And so now, and then it was shortly after that that the phone, the call cut. It just cut right out. And I mean, this all happened very quickly, in a matter of less than a minute. Less than a minute. It was a very short phone call. So he texted me right away, right when the phone cut off. He texted me, and he's like, "Oh, I'm so sorry. The internet out here is really bad." He says, "But see, don't you believe me now? Don't you believe me? I proved myself." And he really thought he had proven himself because he made that call when all he actually did was pretty much almost solidify the fact that, okay, I don't believe you. Um, but I didn't say anything because, well, no, actually, I did. I did say something. I said, why didn't what you were saying match up with your lip movement? And he said, oh, well, the everything is delayed, the sound is delayed, or the lip movement is delayed just because of we're in a different country and this and that. And at first, it didn't connect. I'm like, oh, well, that makes sense. And the laugh didn't kick in until later. And I'm like, that makes sense. But after a while, I got to thinking, wait a minute, the laugh matched. Why didn't the words match? So this is when I started my detective work, and I really started digging with the guy. I really started digging into this, and um, I started doing a reverse picture search. I mean, obviously the guys. Well, I shouldn't say obviously, but I had no idea if the guy was using his real name or not. But I just took the pictures, and he had a bunch of them on his TikTok profile. I can't remember if he had an Instagram or not, but he had a bunch of pictures on his TikTok. So I was taking a bunch of the pictures, and I was doing a reverse picture lookup on Google. And a lot of times it doesn't come up with anything because it's really hard to match the pictures unless there's a lot of pictures from whoever you're looking up. And it's not like I was putting work into this full time. I had other things going on in my life, and it took me a couple weeks, but I finally found one that matched, and it helped that he was using, I think, older pictures. He wasn't using ones that the guy had up right then, but I came up with a real doctor in Turkey. And the guy's name was Hakan Kerem. Hakankerem. Hakan Kerem. And this guy was a plastic surgeon. He had his own business. And this dude was uh well um well he's very arrogant. So he did a lot of videos of himself. Videos and pictures, and he had a lot of stuff out on social media. And just to make sure that it wasn't the real doctor just kind of off on this weird vacation, or not even weird vacation, just to make sure that it wasn't him just being weird. I was i tried to get a hold of him to say, this isn't really you, right? You know, and so I started searching his business for ways to reach him. I didn't want to just kind of text the business and say, you know, please get back to me because this guy's doing this. Because if it was a doctor, I mean, hey, the dude's got his right to his own personal life. But, I had to find out what was going on. And um, this went on for probably another couple of weeks, and I wasn't getting a response. Or actually, I did. I got a couple responses in Turkish, and I'm like, really? Are you serious? I write to you in English, you write to me in Turkish. Do I sound like I'm from Turkey? If I'm from Turkey, don't I write to you in Turkey? Please, people. Okay, so that's when I really started to dig in my heels. And I'm like, all right, I don't give a damn who you are, Doc. I got to figure out what the hell is going on. So I wrote out this big, long notice. I mean, long. And I know the dude could speak English. I know he can because I'd seen videos of him. He actually spent time with his medical training in the United States. I've seen him speak English doing some of his videos. Um, so I made and I made this video. I mean, not this video. This notice saying that. I mean, and I was copy and pasting, and I mean, I even told him that this guy had even gone so far as to say, "Hey, I got a surprise for you today." And I'm like, "Okay, what?" And he sent me this naked picture of himself. Oh my God. With with you could tell it was not the same person. It was like one guy from the neck down and the doctor's head from the neck up. It was so he put the doctor's picture on the body. And I'm like, oh my freaking God. So I even put that on there. I said, this guy is sending naked pictures with your face on them. You know, I said, I need to know if this is you. I heard you doing this crap. What's going on? Because I was done playing around at that point, and I mean, and this was a long message, and it, I, I know that the guy is very, very full of himself. He likes to make videos of himself at the gym, just doing things, and then he'll stand up and do one of these into the camera, one of those type of things. What? Why? This is the real doctor. So anyway, so I after I sent that long text, because I'm sending it to the WhatsApp account for the business, I'm sending it to every single email account I could find in the business, every single thing I could find that has anything to do with him, that place, that anything. And I finally get a text back from him, mind you, from him. And I believe it was on, well, I don't even know what it was on. Might have been on his Facebook account. I don't know. I can't remember. And all he said was fake account delete. And I'm like, what the hell? I felt traumatized just texting the guy to tell him about this other dude, what he was doing. And that's the response I get. Fake account, delete. But more on that one later. That adds a little bit more to it. So now I know for a fact, oh my God, 18 minutes I'm up to. Holy Jesus. There's no way I'm going to be able to finish this today. I am by nowhere near done. So I now know that for a fact that Edwin is definitely a scammer. And I already assumed that, but I didn't want to accuse him too early. But I didn't block him right away because I wanted to try and figure out what I was going to do with him. I wanted to think on that one a bit. And I think that's where I'm going to end this because it's I'm pushing 20 minutes here, guys, and I really have to get going. So I'm going to stop this one here, and then I will get going on the third one as soon as I can. All right. Thank you all for watching the second one, and um, again, if you want a live one for the third, you'll let me know, and if I get enough interest, I'll do a live, but only if I get enough interest. You know. All right. Thanks for watching, guys. I really appreciate it. And take care. I'll talk to you soon.